face.
in my opinion, right? In my opinion, stoicism is largely for men, right? Because one of the principles of stoicism is to never complain, even to yourself,
How is that?
right? Because stoicism is based on the principle that you should only worry about things that are in your control, right? And I know that is hard for people to do. It is extremely hard for people to do. I actually don't think that it's hard for men to do at all, because men get blamed for a lot of problems of today. Like you said, move. Okay, so um, let me slide this over. There we go. And I think by and large that men don't like men get blamed for a lot of the world's problems anyway, right? So we're kind of
Y'all just ain't control.
well, not necessarily. Like the by and large, the world is a matriarchy. The world is ran by women, like by and large. Now, you have men like politically. There's men in power, and yes, women haven't built a sustained society anywhere in history, but that's not what we're talking about. What I'm saying is that when it comes to stoicism, you have to be able to compartmentalize and recognize that this isn't in my control. And because it isn't in your control, you can't worry about it. Because 9 times out of 10, most things work themselves out anyway, unless it's like serious. But 9 times out of 10, people it just works itself out. But yes, most men should live their life by stoicism. But then you also couple that with the philosophy that I have adopted of a Japanese philosopher, who basically adopted the principles of being alone, right? 21 principles of being alone.
Everybody, we're back up on YouTube. We're up on YouTube. If that's the way that you like to watch it, that's the way you can see it. Otherwise, if you're on the behind the scenes, then that works too. Go for it.
So, no, you're good. So, those principles from that Japanese philosopher, first and foremost, his name was Miyamoto Musashi, right? He was a Japanese philosopher. He was a Ronin, and a Ronin was basically a masterless warrior, right? And men should be living their lives as principles of warriors anyway, right? But at the same time, he created 21 principles for a man to live his life. So what I've done is I've combined the two principles to live a steadfast, steady life that has actually improved my life 90% fold. Because most of the problems that I had in my life, particularly, were self-inflicted. So when you learn to bring those together and discipline yourself, a lot of those come together, and it really, really disciplines a man's life. But I think that most men have an issue being alone. Like most men are bullied into you need somebody, you need somebody, you need to constantly be looking for a
I don't
relationship.
think that's a most men. I don't think that's a man woman thing, because on the opposite end, you have women who are told, if you're not married, well, depending on when you grew up,
Right.
but in my mom's and my grandma's generation, if you're not married by 29, 30, you're a spinster. And it probably was younger than that. And then even now, all over social media, the first thing that a person says is, well, you ain't got a man, but you ain't got a man, you ain't got a man. So being alone, whether you are a man or a woman, is looked at a little differently than it doesn't matter. That's not a
only
man
half
or
true.
that's not a man or a woman thing, because and that'd be a
Yeah.
man's first argument. Soon as a woman says what she's looking for, this, that, and third, or what she doesn't want, or how she perceives life, the first thing that most men's argument is, well, where your man? And it's the first women's argument as well. When a woman says, oh, well, I wouldn't do that with my man, or I wouldn't do this with this man, and they'd be like, well, where your man at? So
Yeah.
it's a case of single is looked upon bad no matter who. Even the government look at you bad if you single, because they charge you more in taxes. Being single is across the board for humanity is looked down upon, is treated differently. Everybody rushed into it, because if it wasn't, think about it like this: if it wasn't, there would be no reason why we would have child marriages.
Well,
because why do you marry somebody off at 13, 14, 15?
That's a cultural thing, though.
No, it's not. This is right here in America. They are. I just had Chaz on here, and he was married off, or he got married at 15 to a 32-year-old woman. And yeah, there's some other stuff that's in there, that's in with that. But he had to get a judge to sign off on it. Right here in America, this is going on all the time.
But see, that's the issue, right? Like, and I don't want to get that confused. Is we tend to take the exception to the rule and discredit the rule, right? So you can pull exceptions to everything. You can pull it.
Oh, definitely.
But that doesn't negate the rule. Like when you say, okay, and I'm working my way back, right? So you can say, oh, well, if I say, okay, this is generally how it is, right? And then somebody comes back and says, okay, I don't know, because there's this, and this. Yes, that's true, right? That's true. But that doesn't negate the rule, right? Because there's isolated showers here and there, that doesn't negate what's actually going on by and large, right? And so when I say by and large, men are forced into those things, are forced to believe certain things. Yes, that may be true for women, for generally, right? But it's not. Those are exceptions to the rule, because one, like I just said, we live in a matriarchy, right? So we 100%, especially in the Black community. The Black community is a matriarchy for sure. Women are out learning men. Women are out earning men. Women are head of households by and large, right? The Black community is a matriarchy. So when I say men are forced into situations, that's true. That doesn't take away from women, this, that, and the third. But I'm referring to men, because men in today's society are bullied is a harsh word. Let me not say bullied, but men are coached. Let's use coach. Men are coached to be in situations. When it comes to family, you need to have a family. You need to be a protector, provider. And I'm saying a man can't begin to master those things unless he's mastered himself first.
And I absolutely agree with that.
That's where I'm at. And
but I
made
also
the mistake
feel as though I think it's a person thing. I think it's absolutely a person thing. I'm not negating that. I'm not negating that on because this is men's mental health. So I'm not negating that.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
I'm just saying that in the same token, let's just take gender out of it.
Okay.
Any person that has made it to this earth should do those things before trying to attach theirself to another person.
I don't think women have to do that.
But I do, and I'm gonna explain why. I'm gonna explain why. Because as you just said, women are head of household, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so being head of household means that you also have to take care of other people's mental state, right? That's one thing, being a parent, that I learned, that I felt like nobody really explained to me, how much in charge of other people's mental you have to be, right?
All right.
Okay, so if I don't have my own down, if I'm not within myself and I know I figured out who I am, I know how, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
How can I help you learn how to be who you are? And it's the same thing with a man. As a father, you haven't figured out how to be a man, how to take care of yourself, how to live on this earth in your humanness, right?
Okay.
So going off and being with another person, or having children, or starting a family, or whatever, it's the same exact concept. Any human on this earth, you have to figure your shit out first before you can attach yourself to another person, or bring another person into this life and try to help them figure it out, or help them navigate, or help them on their journey. And you're absolutely right. It's a society thing that is pushing people together and forcing people to feel as though coupling is the next step in life or whatever, especially right after school. It's like you make you feel like as soon as you finish school, whether it's high school or college, you need to find somebody and settle down and start your life.
For sure.
But life doesn't start or end with a relationship.
I agree to that. That I agree with. But okay, so this is where you lose me. All right. So, all right, I'm just using I am just using an example.
No.
Okay.
You know me and you.
Okay.
Look, we're not like other people that were on the couch. Okay.
Like
we can agree and agree to disagree and still be okay. You good with me?
So,
you good with me?
Look, you're single, right? You're single. You're a single woman, right? You can, and you look how you look, right? You can not have your shit together at all. At all. Right? You can genuinely, for the lack of a better term, be a screw up. And a man who finds you visually attractive, you make him feel a certain way emotionally, you are supportive, and he has his shit together, right? You not having your shit together, as long as you look visually good to him, as long as you appeal to his emotions, you will still be dateable to a man, right? And on a grander scale, if let's just say you and some ugly chick is in the room, right? A millionaire walks in, right? Just off looks, period. Walks off look. He's going to always choose the better looking woman every single time, and will not mind taking care of that woman regardless of what her personality is. Now, whether it's a mistake or not, doesn't matter in this analogy, right? But he's going to always choose the better looking woman, because a woman having her life together, a woman walking that path, doesn't have to have her life together as much as a man has to have his life together. There's more room for mistake for a woman than it is a man, because it is pushed on a man. You need to protect and provide, right? You need to be able to do that. And the more you're able to do that, the better pick of woman you will have. Whereas for a woman, all you have to do, right, is look decent enough, and a man will choose you and will take care of you because of how you look and how you make him feel. Yes.
Then why is it so many pretty single women out here?
Honestly,
it's you obviously have to bring more to the table than that. And not only that, but it makes me say that that's y'all issue, not ours. You not bring like something in y'all DNA or something that God put in y'all heart or y'all head or whatever society has done,
Okay.
or however, it's weird to me, this argument, this over and over argument of men's position and women's position, because then my argument is, how do you want me to fix this? Because see, I'm a solution-driven person, and so
I just had this conversation.
so
I'm so glad
we
you
just
said
gonna
that.
keep doing this circle over. Like my kids gonna have this argument, our
Right.
grandkids gonna have this argument. I don't want to keep having this argument. I'd rather talk about something that me personally I can fix. I'll give you a for example.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Because I'm willing to be honest about my life. I don't give a fuck. Okay. I give you for example. So I understand the whole submission thing, right? But I haven't necessarily seen a relationship. Like, I did not grow up in a house with a man in the house. My house had only my mother.
Okay.
Did I have my father? Absolutely. But he did not live in my house. So I did not see day-to-day interactions of a man and a woman and their, you know what I'm saying,
Correct.
that dynamic,
Correct.
right? Okay. So with that being said, the submission thing, I understand it in a theory, but there are times when putting it into practice, I have to figure out not only how to be submissive, but to still be able to stand my ground in my thought process, because I'm not just your thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not just here to look good. And if you just want me here to stand here and look good, I'm not for you, right? I do have an opinion. I'm bringing something to the table.
Okay.
So for men, a lot of times having that opinion, speaking up, voicing and saying what you have to say is looked upon as you're not listening to me and you're not being submissive. Am I right so far? Do we all have a consensus?
I have a premise of what you're saying.
Okay,
yes.
bet. All right.
Yes.
So with that being said, there was something that was going on in my household where I felt one way and my husband felt another way.
Yes.
Right? Now, do I think he's wrong? No. But I also feel as though, let's say the organization that I want to attach us to can help us, right? It can help us in our time of need.
Okay.
My husband feels as though I don't want to be a part of this organization regardless.
Okay.
Regardless of them being able to help me or not, I don't want to be a part of it.
Okay.
So me trying to figure out how do I submit as well as still not stand my ground, but state my place.
Okay.
Is a form of, as a woman, me trying to find that solution to women don't listen, women don't, or being a man, we're not seen in our household, or this, that, and the third.
Okay.
If we're going to do this as people, then I don't give a damn what all of society is thinking. I don't give a damn what every man wants from a woman. All I care about is the one that I'm with. How do I make sure the one that I'm with feels safe, secure, satisfied, listened to, submitted to, or whatever else?
Okay.
And I think on a baseline, a lot of people are worried about the biggest picture, and it's not. It's that person that you with. Okay. Because it's going to be different situations. We're going to keep going round and round and round in this topic. And and it's always going to be someone who's going to feel like, well, all I am is the provider. Okay, well, you know.
No, I got you, right? I got you. Okay.
And let me say this too, just real quick.
Go ahead.
With that whole thing where men are saying we have to be protectors and providers. Okay, we've just been able to get jobs. The women's suffrage movement has just happened. Like closer in the last 100 years than the last 200 years. You know what I'm saying? So it's only been the last 2 to 4 generations of women that have had the ability to have their own income, have a bank account, be able to purchase land, have their own businesses, right?
All right.
So before that, you absolutely had to be a protector and provider, because what the fuck am I supposed to do? I can't go get a job. I can't go work. I can't go make money.
Right.
So yes, you do have to be a protector and a provider. And that's the patriarchal system that you set up for me.
Okay, so all right. I'm so glad you said that, because I want to make a distinction, right?
Mm-hmm.
Patriarchy does exist.
We have so much in the comments, not just there, but over here, they are going in.
So patriarchy does exist.
Mm-hmm.
I want to make that clear.
It does. Absolutely.
But patriarchy is white men.
Oh, definitely.
Definitely.
High five. Yes.
Patriarchy is white men. Mm-hmm. That had zero to do with black men, right? That has zero to do, because on the scale of
I don't want to say zero, because I want to say that black men have always tried to emulate it. And not saying that it's a bad thing or a good thing, because we've been made to assimilate in this country anyway.
I'm gonna call cap, I'm gonna get to that, right? This is the thing. You black men on a power scale, just power scale. Mm-hmm. Black men have zero power in society. We are the last ones on that list. We are the last ones on that list.
Nah, black women are below you.
That is cap.
Black women are below you. No, in society, black women.
That is impossible to be.
Even said the most disrespected thing on this earth is a black woman.
You can't use that example and then turn around and be the most educated, literally second, and wages. Black women out earn white women. So you can't.
I need to see this.
Black women out earn.
Black women do not out earn white women.
You can't, and you can't use the wage gap. Like, okay, all right. Let's
read some of these comments. Let's read some of these comments, because woo. Okay. Oracle Connect is here. Hey, how you doing, Hill? She said, but it's still a patriarchal society. She said that earlier, but I feel where she's coming from. Sam is on. He said, good show as always, sis. Like, hand claps for it. Good show. Ron Thomas is here as well. He said, good show. Good show. Terry said, does that organization help for the moment or for the long run? Let's say that organization helps for the moment. It's definitely not a organization that we're in for, lifetime or whatever. This is a for the moment organization, but you don't want to be a part of it. I do. So don't get it twisted. I've already made my decision. I'm not going to be a part of it. But if there are things that we need that this organization could have provided, I'm going to look to you to be able to step up to provide those things, because I have found a way for us to have them without having to do it, without having to ask you. And now you're saying you don't want to be a part of it. So now, yes, I'm going to come ask you.
Okay. So, all right. Because in the midst of whatever that was, I read questions. So in the midst of whatever that was, let me start by talking about the whole submission thing.
Okay, let's go back to that. Okay.
All right. So I think that men and women get the whole submission thing confused. And the reason I say it, because I'm just learning that. I am like at 39, I'm just learning that.
That men and women have submission confused, or what submission is?
Yeah, both, right? Both, because submission is not one of them things. Submission doesn't mean I am relenting control.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? That's not what it means.
It's a line. It's a fine line that you have to walk. Right?
Submission is deference, right? And it's just like if we're in a house together, mm-hmm. Submission is okay. I am going to give my opinion about this, mm-hmm. but the decision is yours. Like if there's something going on in our household, mm-hmm. we are living together, mm-hmm. that affects everybody in the house from the top down, from the husband to the youngest child. It affects everybody, right? You, as the woman, submission is not, for lack of a better term, just shutting the hell up. That's not submission.
But we must agree that there are a lot of people out there.
No, a lot of people do think that. Yeah,
who
that's not
confuse that, and that's where you get a lot of women fighting back. And this goes in with what I was saying earlier. It's not about trying to figure out how to be submissive for men. It's about learning how to be submissive for your man. Your man might not need the same things that Instagram is saying. Right. That Instagram is saying a woman, this is how a woman submits. No, you need to learn your person and find out how submission looks to them. Like you said, it's
just deference.
Right.
It's just deference. Like, you should be able to give your opinion, right? All right. Hey, I think this, as a man, you should bring it to your woman, right? I personally don't believe you just make blind decisions that affect everybody. Because then that's just kind of selfish. But you bring it to her, and then you listen to what she had, like genuinely listens to what she has to say. Because most times she's gonna see what you're not seeing, especially if you go into it with your mind already made up. If you go into a situation with your mind already made up, you don't see the bad about it. You see what I'm saying? And then she gives you how she feels about it. Okay, now submission is her saying, this is how I feel about it. Okay, I'm letting you know how I feel. Now it's on you.
And I'm a detour to your
and whatever whatever you decide, I'm going to roll with, right? But as a man, and this is where actually walking alone for a while comes into play, right? Once you make that decision, you got to stand on it, and you got to be able to be like, win, lose, or draw, whether you made a good decision, whether it was a bad decision for the household. Because I will say this, because I've done this.
So that's basically saying what I said. I submit. That's fine. I don't agree with you, but I'm gonna do it.
We're gonna roll
with it. But I'm telling you right now,
we're gonna roll with it.
I'm looking, right. Sir.
We're gonna roll with it. All right.
This got to be done now.
That's submission to me, right? But that also, learning that comes with age.
Oh, baby,
that comes with age.
22-year-old sunshine wouldn't have did it.
And
30-year-old sunshine wouldn't have did it. 35-year-old
that just comes with
38-year-old sunshine.
That comes with age, man.
It does.
You gotta like so. But the thing is, as a and this is what I hate, right? Because I don't want to be clipped like that, right? We are living in the podcast age, right? We are living in a podcast age where you're scrolling through social media. Everybody has a podcast,
Everybody has an opinion.
Everybody has an opinion. And everybody comes off, because viral content is king, everybody comes off as like they have this sage-like wisdom, right? And there will always 100% be somebody who agrees with you.
And there will always be somebody that disagrees. Don't agree with you. Yes,
right. That is 100%, right? So in the age of social media, now you're just monetizing who agrees. You see what I'm saying?
But shit, don't get it twisted. You're monetizing who don't agree, because all comments go straight to the analytics. I don't care. You can be in my comment section, call me a dirty broad all you want to. It's a comment, though.
Yeah, that's so and so most people are going to find, if you go on most people feed, psychology wise, your feed is filled with things that you agree with.
Right.
You see what
That's
I'm saying?
the other part. You're not going to see the opposite of your opinion come up on your feed. You're only going to see things that are going to confirm your belief. I promise you, if you look and test this theory out, y'all can test this theory out. If you haven't already, just look at it, because I'm one of those people. Okay, so as I've told you guys before, I have an app on my phone, and I took it off for a while, and I'm so glad I put it back. But this app automatically posts for me. So on some of my pages, you think I'm active, but I'm really not.
Right.
My app is active and it's posting for me. But I notice whatever my feelings are, if I'm going through something, like let's say I am upset with my husband about something, a lot of the memes that come through are memes about being mad or somebody not respecting your feelings. When I'm happy, when I'm feeling joyful, all of the memes that I seem to see are all about being joyful. When you know what I'm saying, when I'm feeling really business like, all of a sudden I'm getting all these Gary V ain't came through my feed. And I know he posts content every damn day, but Gary V ain't came through my feed in about a good 2 months.
Right.
But now that I've said something, watch Gary V pop up on my algorithm within the next day or two.
No, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you put out the energy, you put out what you want. If you are trying to be a better person, change yourself, if you are trying to hold yourself accountable, me submitting to my husband is all about accountability, whether you want to believe it or not, because I have to look at myself and ask myself, well, what am I doing that's triggering him or making him feel some kind of way, and making him feel like he's not loved, like he's not listened to, like he's not, you know, come on, give me another word where men feel like they not. I need threes. He's not loved. He's not listened to. He's not respected.
Oh, I was gonna say liked.
Liked. Okay, bet. Liked. You know what I'm saying? So I have to hold myself accountable in that, as far as the part of the relationship is concerned. If you are constantly saying you, when you're talking about the issues that are wrong in your relationship, then you are messing up, because you need to start saying I. For sure. When me and Chubbs in our, because I told y'all I had a little issue about talking to Chubbs about my shit, because Chubbs know me and my peoples and shit. But me and Chubbs did sit down and talk. And I hope it came across that the whole time that we were talking, I was asking him, how can I do this? How can I fix this? Yes, this is what I'm feeling because of what he has made me feel, but how do I fix it and respond? Not how do I make him understand? How do I change him? No, that's not my place.
Right.
That's not my place. That's his accountability. My accountability is, what am I doing to be the better person in the relationship? And not better like I'm trying to be better than him, but better as in better than the person I was 2 days ago, better than the person I was a year ago, better than the wife that I was, I am not the wife that I was when we got married. I'm just not. I'm not the same wife.
Well, you're just,
because I'm not the same person.
There we go. You're nowhere close to the same person.
I'm not the same person. Yeah. So there's no way that I can be the same wife. And whether it's backtracked or move forward or whatever, give the person that you're with the grace to grow. I think that's another issue too, is that we be so mad at the person who they were and how they treated us in the past, that even if that person is working on being a better person or being somebody, that could be worthy,
right?
You know what I mean? Being somebody that you deserve, you still holding them to the shit that they did in the past, and you're not giving them grace for the strides that they're trying to make moving forward.
No, for sure. For sure. I think that honestly, let me start by saying you're right. But
ladies, y'all heard that, right?
Like,
and that's all he said. Let me start by saying you're right. And there was a period after that. Gotta love a sexy man that say I'm right.
The thing about it is that you, and this is where I might lose a lot of people, right? But this is true. Before a man can truly be who he needs to be for a fruitful relationship, he has to disregard relationships, period, for years Because whether people want to whether people want to hear it or not.
So how do you
women?
How do they get over that? When you meet somebody and you be like, "Oh, you single?" You be like, "Yeah, you single. How long you been single?" "Oh, I've been single for 2 years." So what's wrong with you? Because that's exactly how society treats that.
Yeah.
And whether it's whether it's a man or a woman,
Yeah.
if you met somebody and she said, "I've been single for the last 5 years,"
right,
what's the first thing you gonna say? Why?
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
Yeah, I actually would say what's wrong with you, but yes, but this is the thing, right? Because I mean, women get offered dick every 30 to 45 seconds. Okay, I get that.
Ladies, listen.
They do. Women just get offered like just here, please take my dick. Like that's pretty much how women go through their day.
I don't know why men feel like that, because even with a pretty girl, it ain't like we just got dick being thrown at us every day. No, and look, let's be honest, all dick ain't good dick.
Yeah, but
like,
that's
just because the J at the Texaco be like, "Girl, I drink your bath water," that don't necessarily mean I just.
You may not like this is the thing. You may not like the dick getting thrown your way, but it's definitely getting thrown at you. And I'm saying to men, right? I'm saying to men, you shouldn't even be considering long-term relationships. Like, love romantically, of course. Love romantically shouldn't be existing to a man until he's like my age now.
Okay. So all that time in between, is he celibate? Or is he dropping dick off in these hoes? Because if he is, you can't tell me that that's not going to cause somebody to create some sort of connection. And that connection,
the whole soul ties thing.
That whole soul ties thing.
I get that, right? Me personally, the way I live my life, right? I would say if you can, celibacy. I would, if you can, but I ain't no fool.
Right.
You see, I ain't no fool. I'm just saying that a man needs to he needs to be able to walk a path alone. He has to figure his life out and have some type of productivity to his life before he can, like, you could go back and look at some old clips of selective outrage, right? And I was very headstrong about 50-50, right?
Do you still feel that way?
No. No. Absolutely.
I love seeing Chubb say he disagree with himself.
No.
Because Chubb's on selective outrage, he would have called himself a simp right then. Then. I watched that show enough to know you simp.
This is the thing. I feel like a man has to be able to have a castle. He has to build his castle, right? You have to be able to build it yourself, brick by brick. Everything that you got yourself. You see what I'm saying? And you have to be able to build it, right? You can't have a woman come in, help you build that castle, and feel like she does not have any right or entitlement to that castle, because if she helps you build it, then she is going she essentially will lose respect for you, because on a certain level, because y'all built it together. So you trying to say you're the head of something, you trying to say this is my domain. Having the attitude like that is not going to go over well, because she is going to, and this is by and large, most women subconsciously is going to be like, no, I helped you build this. And since most women out earn men in a household anyway, if she makes more than you, she's definitely not trying to hear that shit, because whether she Men, listen to me clearly. Whether she says it or not, if she loves you, she won't say it. If she loves you, if a woman truly loves you, she's not going to say it, but she will think it, she will journal it. If she out earns you, there, if you start talking that this is my house, my domain, you need to follow my lead, that shit is cap. That is out the window. Because if she out earns you, she is going to be like, no, it's not. I make more than you. I bring in more, monetarily, I bring in more than you. So this is really my domain, and I am just having you assistant manage it.
I hate you.
Like that is,
I hate you.
That is whether you want to hear that or not. So as a as a man,
let me go through these comments.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. This nigga said I have you assistant manage it. Okay, I don't want to go back too far because we've been talking about so much stuff, but let's see. We got Raw Country. Raw Country says sometimes some women listen to respond, not to understand. Again, I don't think that's just a woman thing. I think that's a people thing. Bowman Lee said the word submit needs context. To submit in a relationship, we need women to be more agreeable. And I agree with that. And I just want to say, I think for a lot of people, if you were raised in a single parent household and you just saw your parent doing shit, being in a relationship with somebody and talking through the decisions that you make is weird. Yeah. And I'm going to tell you why. Because you have this preconceived notion of what the other person is already not going to want to do. No, for because sure. You're in a single parent household and you've listened to your parents say they got to do all this shit they sell because the other parent didn't want to be there and do it. Right. So when you're in a marriage or a relationship, trying to convert over sometimes is weird. And I'll give you guys a for example. Again, me and mine. I did not know my husband cared about doctor's appointments. So as a mother, when my kids had doctor's appointments, I set their doctor's appointment. We go, we get whatever done, we come home. Right. And it wasn't until he was like, yo, is you going to tell me what happened? Correct. You going to tell me what they said? When is the next one? What did they have to get done? And it really took me aback because I was like, well, shit, he just needed a doctor's appointment. You know what I'm saying? But yes, this is his kid too. This is his seed. He wants to make sure his offspring is being taken care of and everything else too. But when you're in a single parent household, you don't see that other person caring about your welfare as a child. So you don't even know that parent needs to come back and let me just give you the rundown of what's been going on. For sure. You know what I'm saying? For sure. And it's weird. Because think of how many small little micro aggressions could happen in a relationship that you don't really realize. Yeah, that, you know what I'm saying? That's a. And whole, again, that's why I say it's not about dating men. It's not about dating women. It's about dating your person. Well, yes, I think that yes. I really want men to understand this. You need to get before you start talking romantically with any woman, you need to be, and I don't mean the basics, because everybody wants a standing ovation for the basics. I agree with that. You see what I'm saying? I agree with that. I mean, you need, if you just have the basics, you need to have a firm grip on the basics, right? I just like, you have to learn yourself. You have to. I'm just now learning, literally learning what I will accept and what I won't accept. And now I'm still learning how to articulate myself. It's one of them things where now it's just like, I'll look at a woman and be like, oh no, nah. You see what I'm saying? I'm not doing that. So Raw Country said, yes, but now the system raises your kids and you have to choose like on Monday, the difference between going to work or, doing what you got to do. He also says after the fact, it doesn't work out. to still show support, but after the fact, if it doesn't work out, still show support. Oh, he's talking about me. After the fact, if the situation doesn't work out, you still have to show support instead of probably being like,
I told you so.
Yeah. Now that's another thing. People. You got to be real careful with that. I told you so.
Shit, I told you so. Get you slapped.
That told you so. Yeah, it'll get you. It'll get you hit. Get you hit. That's why in other countries you can pay for it. Are you talking about Coochie? Dropping D off like Amazon. Y'all are hilarious. Comeback God said, I agree. Man should be able to foot everything, but choose a woman that's willing to add on to those assets that I've created.
Yes.
Now,
yes.
Let me ask y'all this though. But then you hear men say stuff to women like, you already got everything, all your shit together. You don't need a man.
That goes back to what I said earlier. I think that, men don't care about, I've said this before on your show and other show, men don't give a shit about degrees. Literally. We literally don't give a shit about that. I've
asked this question. So does that mean that
men don't care
you
about
want pretty stupid women that don't say nothing? I mean, do you want pretty stupid women, or do you want pretty smart women that don't say nothing?
No, but see, it's not what it's about, because you can be intelligent. When I say men don't care about degrees, that's not a determining factor for a man to say, this is who I am choosing to spend my life with. I don't care if a woman has a degree or not. I don't care if a woman can talk to me about, I don't know, Eastern philosophy. I'm into Eastern philosophy. So I don't care about that. You know what I care about? Is she supportive? How she makes me feel. Does she go to the gym? Does she care about how she looks? Does she care about how I look? Like the things like that. That is the last thing on my list. Most men. About
fellas, I need consensus on this one, fellas. Is the last thing that you care about the intellectual of the woman? Basically what he's saying is, because and the reason why I'm equating a degree to intellect, because yes, there are tons of women that are smart that only went to high school or whatever. They're absolutely, you know what I'm saying? Because if you really ask me, I have a technical degree. I don't have a college degree, right? Mm-hmm. But I'm very self-learned, right? And I can hold a conversation, right? But if I was just cute and never said nothing, that would be fine with y'all too.
Yes, I think to men, emotional intelligence is way more important than like school intelligence. Like,
fellas, I need to know. I need y'all to let me know. Somebody said of all the languages to speak, he chose facts.
I'm trying to tell you. Men don't care. That's not something we care about.
Sean said education does not equate intelligence. Sean, you're supposed to be sitting here next, okay? Don't be posting in your Instagram talking about should I. No, it need to be I'm going to be on All Hustle No Fear. He's talking about he can't come on here because I'm gonna get cut off. Tell him hits ain't gonna cut me off. Hits ain't gonna cut me off. Listen, we gotta go to a real quick commercial break. But when we get back from this commercial break, we do have some questions that some people have sent in to us to ask Chubbs. So we're going to give him the opportunity to go over these questions. I'm only going to play like 2 quick songs real quick. The first song that I'm going to play is our contest winner. Yesterday, I mean, he blew everybody out the water. I didn't even have to count anybody else's votes because he had the most visually. But shout out to Diego. That's what he said. Yeah. Shout out to Diego. We're gonna be playing his song coming up first. But let's see. The questions that we have. The first question, somebody said, how about the dynamics of relationships with single mothers and men and the relationship with their kids? Questions like who eats first and so forth. There's a viral video going around right now where there's this man and he's like he's extremely upset that the children are eating before he got his plate. Now, I surmise from this situation that it really depends. Like when we ask this question, who eats first? I think it really depends on whether or not those are his children or not. And the reason why I say that is because most men want to see their kids eat. And they want their kid, they don't care if their kids eat. Here, baby, go ahead, get something. I know my husband, he don't care whether or not.
I think that's an internet thing. I don't think.
And my other thing has always been, can you fix a plate? Can they fix a plate? Now, if it's am I serving my 16-year-old before I serve my husband? Probably not. Am I serving my 5-year-old before I serve my husband? Hell yeah, because he can't go on the stove and go get no food.
Like, to me, I mean, that is one of the smallest things that people argue about, because I mean, I can fix my own fucking food,
right? But we gonna talk about it. We gonna talk about it. Okay, another one. It said testicular fortitude, a deeper look at what it really means to be a man. I don't know what that question meant, but I'm just repeating it. Here's another one: dealing with rejection. What ways can I, as a man, not let my thoughts get the best of me? Because at times when I feel rejected by life, especially when it comes to family and relationships, I get depressed. How to overcome low self-esteem issues as a man. Now, that's the question we need to ask when we first come back, because that's a really good one. This one is also a good one. Someone said words that hurt, because calling a man a bitch ass nigga can last in his memory bank for 29 years. But that woman will be done, moved on. How to heal over the trauma that stems from mama or grandma. I think there was multiple questions in there.
Right.
But let's deal with the first question with words that hurt.
Yeah.
Okay. And then no, that was me telling you I had to reschedule. Okay, so while you, and I'll give you the phone so you can look over them a little bit more. While you think about those, we're going to go ahead and go to a quick break. Like I said, this is the winner of my music video contest. His name is Diego. Y'all make sure y'all go follow him on Instagram. It's d.a.igo. I think it's in my stories. Okay, he won. Y'all make sure y'all check him out. Now, for all my good little prostitutes, everybody that's here all the time, everybody who's converted to All Hustle No Fear, y'all are the ones who get to tell me whether or not it stays in rotation. Okay, he made the first round, he made it onto All Hustle No Fear, but now I need to know, is this a vibe song? Is this our vibe?
Right?
Does it stay? Okay, or is this a play and done? Play and done. Okay.
Right.
So y'all drop something in the comment section. As always, don't be rude. Okay. These people got feelings and emotions too. Okay. If you ain't got something nice to say, shut the hell up. There it is. This is All Hustle No Fear on Hits 92.3. We will be right back. Happy congratulations on the baby, DJ Monte. I got Shantae Renee, right? Talk Nice to Me up right here, okay? That's the second song I'm playing. You stay tuned, because Shantae just had a baby. That woman was fine as...
Put one in the head. Run, shot it.
See it. You want to get up in the time, bitch. If you can hold that pretty thing off the side of that bed, I'ma work it how you give it to me. Ay. If you can put both of your legs behind your head, I'ma work it how you give it to me. Ay. If you can lay on your side, open both of your thighs, I'ma...
That is the wrong song. I'm about to play something else while I download that song, because that is not the song. It did not download the right song. So this is Shantae Renee, Talk Nice to Me, until I find the right song. Be right back.
Yeah, you wanna talk to me, you tryna know my name, but I ain't on tonight. I'm just trying to feel the vibe. You don't know what to say, you're just trying to swing my way. Oh, why don't you see the light? You just trying to get inside. I'm just trying to sing my song. Me and my girls, we ball. No need to touch at all. You can look, but just don't touch. Give me a fifth and leave me alone. Now tell me who's in charge. Your ego's way too small. I know you wanna come down to me nice. You really wanna know my name, but I ain't on you tonight. Come and talk to me nice. Ooh, you really wanna know my name, but I ain't on you tonight. I'm just here for a good time. I better get you fantasizing. I can see it all in your eyes. I know I got you hypnotized, yeah. I'm just here for a good time. I better get you fantasizing. I can see it all in your eyes. I know I got you hypnotized, yeah. Don't touch, that's all, baby. Don't be, that's always. It's like work, it's all in a day. Consider this a perk if I'm all in your face. Like, who want it? You got it. I got it. I got it. Eat you one bill in a day. You're looking for a God, it's right in your face, yeah. I'm just trying to sing my song. Me and my girls keep on. No need to touch at all. You can look, but just don't touch. Give me 50, leave me alone. Now tell me who's in charge. Your ego's way too small. I know you wanna come to be nice. You really wanna know my name, but I ain't on you tonight. Come and talk to me nice. Ooh, you really wanna know my name, but I ain't on you tonight. I'm just here for a good time. I better get you fantasizing. I can see it all in your eyes. I know I got you hypnotized, yeah. I'm just here for a good time. I better get you fantasizing. I can see it all in your eyes. I know I got you hypnotized, yeah.
Are you in need of some tattoo therapy? Visit Studio 219 for your next tattoo or piercing. Studio 219 is located at 1900 Piedmont Road in Atlanta, just 1 mile from the Lindbergh train station. Studio 219 is open Monday through Saturday from 12 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. and closed every Sunday. Book your appointment today by visiting www.studio219ink.com. That's studio219inc.com. Make sure to follow 219 on Instagram for promotions and specials at Studio219ink. Studio 219. Let us fix your creative itch.
At the next intersection, turn left.
See, I don't need a navy to point me out to a baddie. Can't we exchange? I'll save the name, you drop the addy.
Cause I might just
slide through the city, slide through your city.
I might just
slide through your city, slide
yeah, I might just
slide through your city, slide through your city.
I might just
slide through your city, slide through your city. I might slide through your city if your women think you're pretty. 40 fat Louisiana, blondie juicy Tropicana, Diva Eva Alabama, all the way to Indiana, pretty brown and Pensacola, Big CC Minnesota, pound cake and butter beans and getting jiggy. New York City, can't forget about New Jersey and Latoya, reppin' Philly, styling nature in Ohio, to Corey in Arizona, Ramiki in Mississippi. I might just pull up and kick it, Sandra and Walika, California, yeah, sprinkle cinnamon out in Georgia, shorty swing my way. Lots of curves, Ika, Seattle, the type that I be after, Arkansas, to North Dakota, South Dakota, and Nebraska. I don't need a navy to point me out to a baddie. Can't we exchange? I'll save the name, you drop the addy.
Cause I might just
slide through your city, slide through your city.
I might just
slide through your city, slide through
yeah,
your city.
I might just
slide through your city, slide through your
I
city.
might just
slide through your city, slide through your city. They super sexy out in Texas, thickness dripping out in Memphis. I just landed in Virginia, so pull up and come and get me. Cause she plus size, night wine fine and super cute. In the D, tatted 313 and Nettie Boo. PSQs in Colorado, cute and chunky in Chicago. If you hear me, won't you holler, hit Vermont and grab a bottle. Plenty more in Idaho, I love the snow all in Montana. She from Kentucky, you're lucky. Kentucky, where the country with the crown. My baby bouncing in Wisconsin. I'm curious about Missouri. All the food bars out in Utah. You feel me? It's big girl season, summer, winter, spring, or fall. The prettiest girl in the world from Duval.
I'm out in your city with my dude. I here getting litty, hit me so you can vibe too. If you meet me at the telly, get some drink and some fried food. I put something in your belly with dessert on the side too. Need a reminder, need a navy to point me out to a baddie.
Can we exchange? I say the name, you drop the addy.
Cause I might just
slide through your city, slide through your city.
I might just
slide through your city, slide through your city.
I might just
slide through your city, slide through your city.
I might just
slide through your city, slide through your city. Hey Nina, what's happening? Babs out in Pittsburgh, what's happening? Kat and Maria, what's happening? Frankie Red and JC, what's happening? Rhode Island, what's happening? All in Connecticut, what's happening? Felicia Alibaba, what's happening? Can't forget Barbara, what's happening?
I don't need a navy
to point me out to a baddie. Can we exchange? I'll say the name, you drop the addy.
Cause I might just
slide through your city, slide through your city.
I might just
slide through your city, slide through your city.
I might just
slide through your city, slide through your city.
I might just
slide through your city, slide through your city.
I might just
slide through your city, slide through your city. Slide through your city, slide through your city.
I might just
slide through your city, slide through your city. Slide through your city, slide through your city.
I might just
You have reached your destination.
Girl, that's a video for y'all big girls, cause that's what's up. I like that. I really do. Let's get back into it, Chubbs.
What's up?
What you want to start with? You want to start with the question that I said, the whole eating thing, or would you like to get right into these young men's questions?
No, we can start with
the eating thing. Yeah. Go ahead. Let's go for it. I'm trying to find a video so I can show everybody what I'm talking about, or at least post it on my Instagram afterwards. But go ahead.
So just as far as like fixing plates and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
like to me that is a non-starter.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're asking me, should a woman fix his man's plates first, I can tell you this: whether she should or not, if she is doing more than she's supposed to, she ain't gonna feel happy about it. And if she out-earn you, she ain't doing it, period. Like that's just what it is. Should a woman do it? I think that's purely preference. Like, cause I know some men really care about that.
Mm-hmm.
And I know
because, like, what if you're the type of man that cooks dinner? So if you cook, do I have to make your plate and then serve you? Like, how does that work?
Yeah, that's just a non-starter. Like, but see, this is the thing though. I feel like people, because this is a social media. This is social
like.
Media
Do you think our parents argued about this before? No, so this is purely a social media. This is social media contract.
Yeah, this is social media.
I'll accept that.
I don't think in real life people care about that to debate it. You see what I'm saying? To be on some why she not fixing it? You see what I think social media makes us care about it. But if that never came up in conversation.
You don't think it would never be an issue?
Absolutely not. Do you fix plates like that? Like, I just think that's a non-starter. Okay. Yeah.
And that's what I'm gonna start posting underneath that question. Be like, this is a non-starter. Chubb said it. Chubb said this is a non-starter. There's no reason for us to even have this conversation. Okay, so let's get into this one. Dealing with rejection. What ways can I'm trying to read this right. What ways can I am a man not let my thoughts get the best of me? Because at times when I feel rejected by life, especially when it comes to family and relationships, I get depressed. How to overcome low self-esteem issues as a man.
All right, so let's really talk about this. Okay, so
before you do, because somebody has a response to this. Your folks named Joe said, no, it's not a social media talk. It's about purity etiquette, period. Oh, proper. It's about proper etiquette.
Right.
So, okay, so folks, you basically saying that a woman should fix a man's plate first. In your household, you would feel disrespected if your woman made the children something to eat before they made you something to eat. I'm asking, I'm not saying that's what you said. I'm asking, is that your position? If that is your position, my next question is, does it matter if they are your kids? And my secondary question is, does it matter if how old the children are? So if I have an infant and I choose to feed the infant before I cook or I make your plate, are you going to be upset?
An infant? I mean,
to me, an infant is anything under 4 years old.
Oh, okay, like okay,
child.
Okay, so this is my thing. Why do we? Okay, in everything that you can care about in a household, right, between you and your woman, of all the things to care about,
Mm-hmm.
of all the things to care about, right?
Mm-hmm.
We are talking about food. We are talking about like why are we even bothering to talk about making? We shouldn't be. This is the thing. This is one of those things where it's making an issue out of no issue. You see what I'm saying? This is what I mean by non-starter. There are a million of things you can get on a woman's ass about. I mean, it's a million things you can get on a woman's ass about. Mm-hmm. A plate is not one of them, because even if she doesn't, right? Even if she doesn't, that doesn't mean she respects you any less. So if you're telling me, right, you as my woman, don't make my plate first, you have zero respect for me. You have zero respect for me because you didn't make my plate first, right? That is a ridiculous thing to argue about in the grand scheme of everything that you can argue about in a household, right?
So he says, in most circumstances, if we're eating as a family, baby's not included, it applies to being served first at the dinner table. Okay. And he says, every aunt in my extended family was married, and when I went to their homes and ate, their husbands were always served first. But you're not their child. If you went to your aunt's house, okay, as an adult male or as a teenage male, you went to your aunt's house and you're at the table, I would expect her to feed her husband first. Like, you think she gonna... We're talking about specifically
when I was with my wife, right? At home, right? At home, I didn't give a shit about whether we ate out a lot anyway. Mm-hmm. But when somebody did cook, when she did cook, I don't give a shit. Now, if you feed the dog before, if the dog gets a bowl before, like, God damn, you see what I'm saying? That is a literal non-starter. What that is, though, is ego. You see what I'm saying? That's ego, right? And that's why I say that's a social media thing, right? That's you wanting to feel more important in a moment where there is no need to feel important in that. So you think she loves you less because she don't make your plate.
Or she's rude. Because he said it's etiquette. So okay. then you're saying she's rude.
So this is my thing. So does she love you less if she doesn't do that? That's the question he needs to be asked. Does she love me less? If you think she loves you less because she does not do that, then you don't need to be there. Because then that's nothing but a door or a gateway of things. You see what I'm saying? That you have an issue with.
Rodney said that plate shit too petty. Man up. Let's see. He said, no, my aunt had children as well. And then Rodney said, if standing up in that thing right, she gonna fix your plate accordingly. Shut up, Rodney. Shut up. Your folks and them said, thus Thus is a traditional practice. If you didn't grow up with the tradition, then you won't get it. It had nothing to do with ego. I'm 43 years old and I've never seen anything different. Okay, I'm 41. He's 40.
I'm 39.
Oh.
I'll be 40 this year.
Okay, I'll be 41 in October. So we're your age, okay?
Yeah.
And I just want to say that tradition is the ancestors or dead people bullying you into doing some shit that don't make no sense. They're bullying you into doing some shit that they did, okay?
Well,
so we're following all traditions that ancestors follow. Like, come on, you pick and choose the traditions that make sense for the time right now. If we want to talk about tradition is when white people walk down the street, you're supposed to get out of their way. Is that a tradition that we're holding on to?
I just want him to answer. I want him to answer that. Does she love you less if she doesn't? Does she love you less? And you
don't laugh at Rodney, teacher. You'll just make him do more. You'll just encourage him.
And do you as a man, do you really have time to argue about something like that? Like, is that really? I mean, really a deal breaker for a woman that you said you love? You see what I'm saying? That's like her. That's like her saying, okay, because you don't give me money for the small thing, like getting my feet done every single time.
Right. It's a deal breaker.
You love me less. Right. That's why I say it's an ego thing. You want her to pay you reverence, right? You want her to pay you reverence. That's where servitude comes in. You want her to pay you reverence.
Yeah, that's that servitude
for the things that you do.
And I would even say, okay, since you say it's tradition, because I'm big on this, right? The whole tradition thing. I'll give you, for example, I had somebody get mad at me because I put my elbows on the table at dinner. And they was like, you can't put your elbows on the table at dinner. That's bad manners, bad etiquette. That's not good tradition. Right. Okay, where does that tradition come from? Well, when I looked it up, it comes from the fact that back in the day, we had big families and little money. So it wasn't big enough tables for everybody to have space. So to put your elbows on the table was bad etiquette and bad form, or not good tradition, or it's tradition not to do it because the person next to you needs space. Well, we don't have big families and we got a big ass fucking table.
Read that comment.
Okay. And then, so my question becomes, being served, right?
Correct.
Where does that tradition come from? Because it almost, in my mind, says it comes from a slave tradition where, you know what I'm saying, the master got served before all of everybody else, right? And so if we're going to keep that tradition alive in the household, say that's the tradition you're trying to follow. Because give me another reason why, give me another reason why you need to feel above or on top of everybody else, that you get your food first.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not the one to say I'll follow tradition. Men definitely deserve the lion's share.
Yeah. Okay.
You gonna get the bigger plate. Yeah. Give your dad 2 damn things of chicken. You don't get 3. Your dad, give your dad 2. But to be served first is giving slave master to me. It's giving, if you're solely talking off a tradition, because then my question becomes, how did this tradition start? Where did this tradition begin? If we are going to honor it, where is the caveat? Where did it start? And for me, as far as history is concerned, I'm stopping at slavery. I'm right there at slavery. If you can tell me before that where it was, like where the Egypt did Cleopatra serve Amun-Ra? You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, no, this is a slavery thing. And you trying to keep that tradition alive. For sure. Let's see. Everybody laughing at Rodney. Stop laughing at Rodney. Y'all are gonna make him do more. And then Teacher Anitra said it's tradition versus modernism.
I disagree.
Okay. Chubb says he disagrees. Give him some more so he can agree. Your folks, Nim. I just want to say thank you for joining. This is the first time I've ever seen your name. Hopefully you return again. I don't know how you got here, but welcome. He says that and that tradition trope is a social media trope. Oh, wait. Okay,
Oh,
hold on. I missed one.
okay.
He says, I'm sorry. So many people didn't grow up with 2-parent households. Can't explain what you refuse to understand. I'm not saying I refuse to understand it. I'm just saying it make sense.
I grew up in a 2-parent household.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying I didn't grow. I didn't grow up in one, but I did have people around me. My grandparents were married. My father is married, and even in that situation, my stepmother, she just. And what if you bring all the food to the table and put the plates on the table? Like it's so weird. Okay, the man eating first is an African tradition as well, and they eat from the same dish in many cultures. But the husband puts his hand in first. That's where teacher Anitra is saying tradition versus modernism. Now he explained it for her. There we go. Don't worry, teacher Anitra, we got it. And he said, I really can't believe y'all are so averse to the concept. If a man brings home the bacon and a woman fries it in the pan, then he gets first dibs. Now I really hate that shit because what did you say, Chubbs?
What?
Women what?
Women
make.
Women
make more than men anyway. So you didn't bring home the whole fucking hog.
But this is the thing. Even with that, right? Even with that, I do not like, right? This is because this is a social media thing too. I do not like. You can't agree with somebody. That is so gaslighting to me. Like, just because I don't agree don't mean I don't understand the audacity and nerve of it all, that you are hovering above us all, right? Mm-hmm. You have such a greater understanding of the world, mm-hmm. right? That you are trying to explain something to me and I just don't understand it. And because I don't understand it, that's why I'm disagreeing. Mm-hmm. That is wild to me, mm-hmm. that you can say, oh, well, if you understood what I'm saying, mm-hmm. then you would agree. But because,
hey, guess what you just felt?
What?
Mansplained too.
That's not mansplaining.
It's part of it though. But it's a big feeling that women get. Well, maybe we don't have a word for it, but that's something that women feel.
Mansplaining
often.
Isn't actually a thing, but mansplaining isn't a thing. Gaslighting is a thing. And that was very gaslighting.
That was very gaslighting. Okay.
That was very gaslighting. Okay.
So teacher Anitra says, one girl commented that she serves her man first because he makes the money and their child doesn't. How stupid does that sound?
Well, that goes back to what I said. He makes the money, right? And whoever makes the money makes the rules. Whoever makes the money makes the rules. Because I also said not 20 minutes earlier, if your woman makes more than you, she may fix your plate, but she ain't gonna like it. She ain't gonna that's just what I just.
So when I first started my relationship with my husband, I was very much wanting to be like my grandmother, and my husband never have to go in the kitchen. He never have to cook. I always make his plate, everything. But then as we went through our relationship and I have to take care of the kids and do all these other things, it changed for me. Now it's like, what you cooking for dinner? You know what I'm saying? Like we do things. And that was, as you were saying, the tradition that I saw, but I had to modernize it, as teacher Anitra was saying, and make it fit for my household. And I think that that's where the tradition or the you don't understand, so y'all not doing it, comes in. It's like, no, we had to conform to what life is now and what makes sense for our relationships, and we can't let someone who is dead and gone dictate what we are now deciding to do just based upon the fact that they did it and it looked right to the subordinates.
For sure.
Right? Because see, what you don't know, you didn't hear all the arguments that they had when they made it back to the bedroom, but she did serve his plate, but you didn't see all the shit she was mad about, or you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. And thank you for saying you've been here for years. You just couldn't respond because you was at work, so that's good. That I think this was a really good show. For sure. I think this was a really good show today, even if it did start late because the computer didn't want to start, whatever. But I say, Chubbs has said to me that he would like to come on more often, that once a month isn't enough for you guys. So I would like to know how you guys feel about that. Would you like Chubbs to be a weekly therapist on the show where we can have more conversations like this? Now, for this to work, you guys have to be interactive. You have to pose questions to Chubbs, give him some topics to talk about, some things that are going on. But I think this could really, open up the lines of communication because, both of us, I think we can have a discussion and respect each other's opinion. And I think at the same time, we both are able to see both sides of the fence enough to be able to agree and still disagree and, agree and change your mind. And that's something too. Debate isn't always about another person making you change your mind. It's just about you being able to see a concept from different angles because there's so many perspectives. It's not gray and it's not black and white. There might be some polka dots in there.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
It might be some polka dots in there. And it's those stripes, those polka dots, those plaids where the conversation gets good and the conversation comes in.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
So I really like that. Ooh, Teacher Anitra said therapy Thursdays.
That's fine. Okay, to answer that last question. Right,
we don't want to skip that. Yeah.
Answer that last question. And could you read it one more time?
Sure.
Please.
Yes, because it was important, and we do want to answer his question. Dealing with rejection, what ways can I, as a man, not let my thoughts get the best of me? Because at times when I feel rejected, in my life especially, when it comes to family and relationships, I get depressed. How do I overcome low self-esteem issues as a man?
Okay. So, first and foremost, I am sorry that you are going through that. I'm sorry that you feel that way. Rejection is a monster amongst men because we have to deal with rejection pretty much at every corner of our life, right? When you talk about rejection and you talk about relationships, right? I need you to focus on the fact about why relationships are so important to you to feel that you need it to validate who you are. You see what I'm, because you as a man are going to deal with, like, rejection isn't going nowhere. Rejection is a part of your of
existence.
Life. Yeah,
man or woman.
And this is the thing, to live is to suffer. Like, you will never not be in a place where you're not being rejected about something. Nobody has a 100% win streak. Right? So now when you say relationships and you're talking about women, I need you not to focus on that, right? You have to be as a man, you have to be a lightning rod, right? You have to attract. You can't worry about, because if you're telling me, and I haven't had a conversation with him, but if you're telling me you're feeling rejection, that means you're putting yourself out there to be rejected, which is fine, right? But that's not what you should be doing.
Because your person will find you.
You have to be a lightning rod, right? You can't be a fishing pole. You have to be a lightning rod. And you need to be able to focus on yourself, focus on improving yourself. When you feel rejected, go to the gym. You're feeling down, journal it. You're feeling those things. Stop trying to put your energy. If you feel like this now, you're only going to project that energy onto anybody that you're trying to date anyway, and nobody wants to be that. And it sounds like you're depending on somebody else to make you feel a certain way, and that's not what we should be doing. Stop focusing on women or men, I don't know your orientation, but just stop focusing on that and focus on building the ultimate you. Once you start building the ultimate you, you will attract what's going to be in your life. And then you can decide what you want in your life and what you don't want in your life. And then you'll start to feel better because now you're in control. You don't feel in control of your own life. Right. And as far as family, you have to get out of the mindset that
my bad.
you can't control what people do.
Right.
You can't control what people say. You can't do that, right? That's not something that you can do. All you can do is control yourself. You have no control of what's around you, which goes back to stoicism, everybody. That you can't control that. Because you can't control it, you cannot worry about it, because people are going to be who they are regardless. Now you can control letting it in your life. That is something within your control. You don't have to have it in your life. You don't have to respond to it. You as a man have 1,000 of things that you can focus on, that you can control. And how your family feels about you or your interaction with your family is something that you cannot control, because people are going to be who they're going to be. So I hope that helps you, brother.
I hope that helps you, brother. That's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Y'all, we got to go ahead and get out of here. But you already know the Hits 92.3 network has a plethora, a cornucopia. It has a whole bunch. Okay? See what I did there? It has a whole bunch of shows on this network that are absolutely amazing. So I need you guys to start tuning in to some of those shows. Shout out to my dope ass prostitutes. Again, if you don't know what this word means, you need to be watching the show more, okay? To proselytize means to convert. If you have been converted and you are converting other people, you are a prostitute. Okay, so to all of my good little prostitutes out there who have been tuning in, not just to All Hustle No Fear, but to other shows on the station, I say thank you, thank you, thank you. I be seeing y'all popping up in the comment section and stuff like that. I be feeling proud, like, oh, they came here because of me, and I like it. I do. So we got some great shows that are coming on today. At 12 o'clock, we have Nap Time. That's right. Okay, it's in the middle with Elvis and Nicole. Nap Time never seemed so cool. That is new age parenting. Tune in for that. Then at 4 o'clock, we've got your best music countdown. That's right. You got to be radio ready for this one. It is Unbox Top 10 with your girl Bliss. And we're counting down the top 10 dopest songs of the week. And then later on in the evening, we've got your motivation. We've got your pep talk. We've got Pep Talk Tay coming in at 7 p.m. today. So you make sure you tune in for all of those. You can always download the app in your favorite download store, whether it's iTunes, Google Play, or whatever else they got out there for y'all to download shit. Download it, tune in, or you can watch, because Hits is radio. You have to watch. You can watch on Hits 92.3's YouTube page. Make sure you like, follow, turn on the notifications, subscribe, and share. Send this to a friend. Tell them to tune in. And tell them to tell a friend to tune in. Because what? All right. This is All Hustle No Fear on Hits 92.3, the real definition of internet radio. I got to get out of here, but I'm going to leave you with some music. You know, I just need a song that's like 1 minute and 45 seconds. So here goes some booty.
Can we link up tonight? Drink some rock and Sprite tonight. My pussy is super tight. Couple years without taking pipe. I am squirting back to back. I made a mess over the floor. Moaning out loud, the neighbors banging on my door. But the pounding ain't gon' get it. You gotta put your tongue all up in it. Give me a better feeling, shy fucking your brain. You know you like it. Stop holding back, baby boy, don't try to fight it. Got a little insane, orgasm riot. I'm an Aries, baby daddy, you a Pisces. I'd rather make love than get a quickie. Love it when you're on top, go slow in me. And when we make love, it's a hell of a drug. I'm addicted to you like I'm a coke fiend now. Put it in your face, know you like the way it tastes. The way I scream your name. choke me up on your back. I do the scratches on top of cars, up in these bushes, on these staircases. No fucks where we do it. Don't tell nobody what we do. I won't tell nobody what we do. Keep this between me and you. All of this between me and you. Let me fuck on you. LMF for you.
I just want to run my business and do ratchet shit with my friends. That's it.